your latest news update from Western Mass News.
Good evening, I'm Amanda Callahan. Here's your latest news update from Western Mass News. The Pittsfield Police Department is warning residents about a recent scam. These people pictured on your screen were seen going door to door in the Morningside neighborhood area, attempting to sell gold for cash, saying they needed gas money. Police say the gold is fake and at least one resident is out a substantial amount of money after falling victim. If you see these people or their cars in your neighborhood, contact Pittsfield Police. The East Hampton School Committee announcing today Maureen Binienda will serve as the interim superintendent for the upcoming school year. The district originally offered a permanent superintendent position to Dr. Vito Perrone, which they later rescinded after his use of the word ladies in an email to two committee members. The committee then offered the position to a second candidate who withdrew herself from the running. Shortly after that, the committee decided to pursue a one-year interim superintendent instead. That will be Binienda. Today marks 23 years since Molly Bish went missing, another somber anniversary for the Bish family as they continue to ask for new investigators to take over her case. Molly Bish disappeared 23 years ago before her body was found in Palmer in June of 2003. The Worcester County DA's office is currently in charge of her investigation.
I'm meteorologist Jana Brown with a check of your forecast. We've got a fairly quiet night ahead. Temperatures dropping back down to the middle 60s, some low clouds and fog for the morning. As we progress throughout Wednesday morning, I think the low clouds will start to break up. We'll get some breaks of sunshine, and that'll help to bring temperatures back into the 70s to near 80 degrees. Chance for a shower in the morning, but the best shot at seeing wet weather will be throughout the afternoon and evening. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are looking likely, and any storms could contain heavy rain, frequent cloud to ground lightning, some small hail, and gusty wind. Storms will start wrapping up near and after sunset tomorrow night, and then some slightly lower humidity builds in for the end of the week. Thursday feeling a bit more comfortable. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine with a stray shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, highs in the lower 80s. Friday we start off around 60, so a cooler beginning to the day. Lower humidity still, highs in the middle 80s with a mix of sun and clouds. Now humidity does start creeping upwards again over the weekend with a stray shower or storm late Saturday. Scattered wet weather expected both Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday for the 4th of July. Right now looking dry, partly cloudy and warm with highs getting close to 90.
Stay with Western Mass News on air, online, and on our app throughout the day for breaking news, weather, and exclusive content.